Thanks to the support as a channel member, Graham McDermott. Well, last episode's transfer special was probably the most difficult summer I've ever had playing Football Manager on YouTube. We're going to learn a lot today about whether we're actually going to be good enough to be competitive at this level, or if I need to just break the bank financially again, which I'm not against doing. We've seen last year, we'll just get bailed out. Hello and welcome to part 14 of Bourne in the USA. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have our first two games of the new season. We're at home against the New Jersey Academy, one of many academies we're going to face in this league. And we also have our first round game in the US Vars thing. In fact, you know what? I'm not going to show you that. They're in the Western Premier League is our level, isn't it? So that's another team at our level. We will show you that one because I want to have a run in the US FA Vars this year. That's a harsh draw for the first round. We're supposed to be getting as far as the fifth round this season. We're playing against a team at our level in a competition that we know tier 10 teams play in because we were playing in it when we were in tier 10. I've just been having a look through some of the stats for the leagues. Obviously, we have got some of these academies starting to appear now. And as we saw in the season preview in the last episode, the Charlotte Academy in particular is outstanding. They've only just got promoted. They're off the back of back-to-back promotions as well, just like we are. But they've got 10 of the 11 players in the best 11, in the media 11, are in their team. Charlotte should win this league comfortably. We're predicted a third place finish, which should be enough for the playoffs. But we are starting to see a more level playing field than we've been a part of previously. In the last two seasons, we've always had the biggest ground in our league. But you can see we're now only the 8th largest stadium in the Central Premier League, and it's not just a load of auto-generated stadiums. I mean, anyone that's got the name of the team and then the name of the stadium, you can imagine that's probably a stadium that was generated by the game, the teams that started without a stadium at the beginning of the game. But looking through, I don't know if there's any in here. Maybe the Chattanooga Academy Stadium. Yeah, that's one of the newly built stadiums. But that is a 4,000 capacity stadium. Bethesda Stadium is likely to be another one. Yeah, that's brand newly built, but with a bigger capacity than ours again. But a lot of these are existing stadiums in America. And we can see we've got quite a mix because we're now in one of only 4 regionalized leagues. And it seems like they've kind of smushed us in with Texas, and it's like you've got the Northeast, you've got a lot of New Jersey, New York sides mixed in with Texas sides. It's a very weird structure to the league, but sponsorship wise, we're only middle of the pack again. We're not a big club at this level. We've been a big club at the last couple of levels. It's going to be a tough season, especially when you see how few signings we were able to make. I've decided to switch the tactic up as well, mainly because our best striker, Stephen Stone, cannot play as a lone striker. He has got no pace about him at all. He's got 6 and 6 for acceleration and pace. He's only got 7 for finishing. Relying on this guy as a lone striker is a recipe for disaster, but he is a pretty useful target man, but I am not going to play a target man up front on his own. So we're going to play Stone alongside Tapia and go to a 4-2-4, similar to what we used in that first season. So it's going to be Kotleyarov in goal, a back four of Logan, Brook, Nice and Garlic, Newboy Goncalves alongside Briones in midfield, Williams and Huyan out wide, and then Stone and Tapia up front. What I haven't done is sorted out set pieces and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to do that quickly on this different tactic. Then we're going to jump into the game. So set pieces created. I mean, it is just we're not using long throws because we haven't got anyone who can do long throws. Literally just a case of setting up the corners so that we're aiming for the 2 centre-backs who both push forward from the corners and getting Stone in there as well as our big target man. Although he's only 5'10", so he's not that big a target man, which is going to be a problem. When I've played with a target man on FM21 so far, it's usually been with the likes of Danny Pritchard from the home save, who's like 6'6", and it's a little bit easier to play with a 6'6" target man because you can literally just aim for their head, and it's going to be with a 5'10" target man. But Huyan, we are looking for a lot from him. He is our best player by a mile. We need him to just be constantly creating and doing magical things down this right-hand side, and hopefully having Stone on his side will mean there's going to be plenty of aiming the ball up for Stone holding the ball up nicely, and then effectively dropping deep and having the option to release Huyan, Tapia, or Williams. Similar to what we've kind of done there. We aim at Stone, and Stone then brings everyone else into the game. That's what we're looking for. Huyan in space here, finds Stone, and Stone with his first effort of the game, and it goes wide. This is... I thought we were playing away for a second. I was about to comment on their horrible green seats, and then I remembered, no, they're our green seats, because when we were setting this database up, we didn't do nice claret seats, which is just upsetting. Stone has got himself out wide here, not really where you'd expect to see him, but it's a decent cross and does lead to another opportunity coming in from the other side. Logan with the cross, but there's no one in the middle for it. And now Goncalves with the pass out to Garlic on the right-hand side, who in turn crosses in. And again, there's nobody there to get on the end of it. This is going to be the story of our season, I think. Without Fletcher, without Smith, we haven't replaced them as strikers. We urgently need a proper striker before the end of this transfer window. Or else I think we are going to find goals very hard to come by. Logan with the cross again, and Tapia scores. I knew he didn't need a striker. It's, I mean, he's got a little bit lucky. The goalkeeper definitely should have been doing a little bit better, but you can see we've certainly playing with a very solid game plan in mind. The game plan is get the ball out to our wide players. Our strength, both in attack and defence, are in the wider players. So we're just getting the ball out to our best players, getting them crossing and playing the percentage game. If we get enough crosses into that penalty area, they're going to start hitting the two players who are lurking in there. It's happened there. It's put us 1-0 up. It's not pretty. It's certainly not the kind of football that I enjoy playing. You know, I like my my fast-passing gegenpress loveliness, but needs must. All we've got is wingers. Let's use them. Let's get the ball out wide, get them crossing, and hope for the best. Briones plays it forward to Tapia, who is the only Bourne player forward, does some good work holding the ball up. Williams with a terrible pass, but Stone has dropped deep to get on the end of it, and Huyan gives it back to Stone. Stone releasing Huyan again, who needs to beat his man and get a cross in here. He's trying to. In fact, he doesn't bother beating his man. He just goes for the cross. Tapia's on the end of it again, and this time hits the crossbar. It falls to Williams. Williams can't get the ball under control again, and the move just kind of peters out. Half an hour on the clock. We've started brightly. I'm encouraged by what I'm seeing. I would love a striker, but the rest of the team is doing what I've asked them to do. Williams plays it back to Logan. Logan now with the cross. Huyan is in, and it's a poor finish from Huyan, and it remains 1-0. But we are creating a lot of chances with these crosses. Huyan nods it down to Garlic. Garlic now crosses. Williams is coming off the left, and his header is over. And now it's New Jersey with a rare opportunity to attack for themselves. Are they just going to kick it out wide and hit across? Because that's all we've been doing. They seem to be trying to work it through the middle, which is where we're a little bit weaker. But they've played a poor pass there, and Huyan's come back to intercept. And it's a ball over the top, looking for Tapia. He can't find him, but Williams picks up the scraps. And now Williams is going to try and get a cross in from this side. Plays it back to Logan. Logan, we know he can hit a deep cross. Weirdly, he's aimed for Huyan, who plays it in nicely to Stone, who's so painfully slow that he can't get there. Any other striker we've ever had scores there. Poor old Stone. It's like he's moving through treacle, or I guess we're in America. He's moving through molasses, not treacle. Do you have treacle in America? I know you have molasses. That's what Stone's for, though. I say we need a striker. Both of our strikers have scored. Yes, they're both headers from crosses, but get used to that. You're going to see a lot of that this season, unless we can sign someone who's a little bit more technical than the two strikers we've got at the moment. It's Williams this time with the cross. Stone is there. Doesn't matter if you're only 5'10" if no one's marking you. And he has got a decent heading attribute. I think he's got an 8 for heading, which in tier 8 is not a bad rating at all. And it's a decent header. Puts us 2-0 up. And we are in control of this game. Williams plays the ball across to Huyan. He needs to stop doing that because it kind of takes the strikers out and takes Huyan out of the game. It's worked that time, though. So I won't argue. Huyan with a lovely finish. Ball forward from Goncalves playing in midfield. And we're 3-0 up before half-time. And I am feeling a lot more encouraged now than I was at the start of the episode. I still worry that if we play against a team that's got a couple of big, decent lower league defenders, then our only idea for attacking kind of falls apart a little bit. But when you see how good Huyan is, I guess if we come into those kind of situations, we maybe need to move him infield a little bit and see if we can get him even more involved. Logan with the deep cross again. Huyan brings it down nicely. It's his second, our fourth. And I mean, I love it when a plan comes together. This is working brilliantly. Logan can really hit across from this left-hand side, and Hu Yan has decided, even though he's only 5'6", he's just going to lurk at that far post and be there to apply the finish when needed. We're going to need goals from him this year, but we have played very, very well in this first half. Bourne 4, New Jersey Academy 0. See, we only needed to make 4 signings. That's all you needed. We already had the makings of a good side. Corner comes in from Hu Yan, and it's over the bar wastefully from Nice. Interesting to see that Charlotte FC Academy, the pre-season title favourites, are also 4-0 up away from home at Corpus Christi. So I know there'll be the usual, Kev's winning big on the first day of the season again. He said it was going to be hard. I didn't necessarily say we wouldn't get promoted, but I think it's going to be more of a battle this year than we even had last year, because although we had Tormenta and Rhode Island really pushing us last year, this Charlotte Academy side look a bit special. Right, we're going to bring Craig Stearns on, who's one of our other new signings from the summer. Another striker in the same mould as all of the others, in that he can't finish. I mean, he's a little bit quicker. We might actually play him as a pressing forward rather than a target man. But we don't have a striker who can actually finish at the moment, which is troublesome. We'll make him a pressing forward just to take advantage of the fact he's got a little bit of pace. And for the final change, I think we'll bring on Elliot Dominguez to play as the inverted winger on that right-hand side. One of 3 wingers we had last year. It's one of the reasons why we let Valdez go, because we didn't need 3 right wingers in the side. And Dominguez, if he's ever going to get regular football while Hu Yan is fit, is going to have to learn to play on the left just as well as he can on the right. And Williams already plays out there as an inverted winger. So Dominguez, as a right footer, he can learn to do that role. And he's won the ball back nicely here and is running. And he just stopped running, but plays it back to Logan. That's the thing. We know Logan can hit a lovely deep cross. Dominguez with the in-swinging cross. Hu Yan brings it down. It falls to Tapia. And there's number 5. Hu Yan was close to his hat-trick, but ends up earning the assist. And Tapia gets his second of the game. He was here all last year. See, it was right to say Tapia was the signing of the season. We just didn't know it because Prince Fletcher was in his way. But we've got goals. Apparently, there's goals in this team. I wouldn't have believed it if you'd tried to tell me that beforehand, because I was very actively involved in the attempts to sign a striker this season. But I think when you've got an XG of 3.5 like we have at the moment, and you've had 23 shots and you're just peppering the penalty area with crosses all afternoon, you're gonna score goals. And it's certainly working out for us so far. Dominguez has got the ball on this left-hand side again. And is he going to give it to Logan? Sort of by default. He got tackled and ends up with Logan. Cross comes in. Hu Yan wins a header somehow. And Jorge Gonzalez grabs a goal to make it 6-0. This has been emphatic. The change in system has worked wonders. This is the exact system we used back in the first season, back when we had 2 very good strikers. We're now using it for a different reason. We don't really have a striker. But either way, when in doubt, play a 4-2-4. And it couldn't be going much better because our star man, Hu Yan, is on a 10 out of 10. I've never seen anyone other than a striker get a 10 out of 10 before. He's only scored twice, and he's a winger, and he's on a 10 out of 10. That shows just how much better than everybody else in this team Hu Yan is. I don't know how we signed him. I certainly don't know how we managed to tie him down to a 1-year contract. But unless someone's going to give us money, Hu Yan is in for the year, and I think it's going to be quite a fun year with him just creating all of the chances down that right-hand side. 6-0 for the first day of the season. Cannot complain about that at all, and hopefully we can do a similar job in the FA Vars, because we want to be competitive in that this year. What a performance from Hu Yan. 2 goals, 2 assists, 9 key passes, and he ran 8 miles. He's only 18 years old. Was he born in China? He was born in China. Is officially Chinese, can speak both English and US English. I don't understand the difference. We didn't see that performance from him last year. Perhaps he just needed to settle in and start getting fluent in US English. But I'm expecting really big things from him now. Well, we've seen 3 of the 4 strikers we've got now. In this game, we're going to have a look at the 4th. Jackson Hernandez came in towards the end of last season. He's got 2.5-star current ability, 5-star potential. He's actually got a 9 for finishing. He's still slow, He's the best finisher at the club. He's another one who can only really play target man or pressing forward. But we're going to force him into playing as a poacher today and see if we can lure some goals out of him. His past track record doesn't necessarily bode well for goals, but we shall see. He comes in for Tapia, who drops down to the bench. Other than that, it is the same team that you saw play in the comfortable 6-0 win on that first day of the season. Tapia's already convinced me he's good enough, which is why I don't mind bringing him out of the team for this game. He can be back in for the... we've got a big away trip. We're away to, I think they're called Texas United in the league at the weekend, which I imagine quite a big trip from Massachusetts to Texas for a team that's heavily in debt and everyone's part-time. I've got to ask him to take 3 days off work to do the round trip. Stone, lovely hold-up play as a target man there, nodding it out to Huyan, which is obviously exactly where it needs nodding, and Huyan plays the ball across to Hernandez, who's got his first goal for Bourne inside 2 minutes. And that is Bourne 1. Is it OSA FC? Is that actually what they're called, or is that an abbreviation? That doesn't seem like a real word. This is all per the script again. This goal, get the ball up to Stone. He nods it out to Huyan. Huyan crosses, and whoever's made it into the penalty area grabs the goal. It is OSA FC. Where is OSA? Let me know down in the comments, boys and girls. We've just made it 2-0 inside 5 minutes. Toby Nice getting his first goal of the season. I'm certain it said OSA FC were at the same level we're at, but we seem to have started dominating them immediately in this game, which... I mean, we've had some goals today, which is nice for a team that I was complaining didn't have any attacking oomph. Logan does well to win the ball back there, and he's just going to lump the ball forward, and we're going to try and go again. It's Stone, once again, dropping deep, holding the ball up nicely, playing it back to Logan. He knows Logan can hit a nice cross. He's tried it from inside his own half. Hernandez flicks onto Stone. He's got Huyan ahead of him. Look at the pace on Huyan. And that's our third goal. It's only the 10th minute. And it's a third goal of the season for Huyan, a third goal of the day for us. And I suspect this is going to be a really rather large victory, because it seems like we're considerably better than this team. And the switched up tactic is working a dream. These two flicking the ball onto each other. Maybe, I mean, it goes against everything I stand for, but maybe I'm going to ignore star ratings, focus in on the attributes. Oh, I feel dirty even saying it, but we've got two very good wingers, we've got solid central midfielders, and we've got 4 lumps who can play up front. Just let the lumps be lumps and don't worry about the star ratings as long as we get the results. Goncalves getting injured is a little bit of a blow. It's a foot injury as well, which could potentially keep him out for a long time, which would be disastrous because he was our headline marquee signing of the summer. The one player who came in and looked, yeah, he is definitely first team ready. He looks the part. We changed the way our central midfield works to accommodate him. We're playing no playmaker because he doesn't want to be a playmaker. And now he's picked up an injury. Huyan was in again there. Would have hoped for a better finish, but 3-0 at half time is absolutely what the doctor ordered. 3-0 up. We're well ahead on our XG again. We're not giving them a look in. They've not had a sniff of a chance yet, although they've got the ball here. So if we could win that back off of them, that would be super. And then I said it's not pretty getting the ball out wide and doing these crosses and the flick-ons and stuff. But actually, you know what? I'm quite enjoying it because it's not often I pick a system and then we go and do the system, especially one that's not my norm. So I'm quite enjoying watching a completely different kind of play. And Garlic makes it 4-0 from the penalty spot. People are a bit upset that I haven't got any garlic puns. I mean, what would you want as a garlic pun? I know it's the name of a vegetable. Is it a vegetable or a herb? A flavour. But a bread. What do you call him? I mean, I'm not going to be really generic and just call him garlic bread. We need a way to actually involve it in a pun, and I don't think there's a lot of garlic and football crossover to be able to talk about him. Like with Troy Cannon in Home, we can talk about him firing the ball into the back of the net. And that's all good, but I mean, garlic, just, oh look, he's scaring a vampire away. Right, we're going to take off Huyan. We're also going to stick Craig Stearns out on this left-hand side. He can play as an attacking midfielder, so as far as I'm concerned, if you can play as an attacking midfielder, which we're not going to be using this year, you should be able to play on the left wing. It's the kind of logic that my primary school PE teacher used, because I was a centre-back when I've always been a centre-back. I haven't played football for 20 years. I imagine, though, if I did, I'd still be a centre-back. And I made my debut for the school team at left-back on the basis of, you're a defender, therefore you can play left-back. Well, Stearns is an attacker, therefore you can play left wing. That's a lovely ball over the top for Hernandez. I would have been a little bit upset if we'd have scored it, because it's not the kind of goal we were used to scoring when we had Smith and Fletcher. Sorry, it is the kind of goal we were used to scoring with Smith and Fletcher up front. But that's not what I want from these boys. I want headers only. That's more like it. Look, they're playing head tennis. It's beautiful. 3 headers in a row leading to the chance. Oh, it's so dirty and horrible, and I love it. I want to do it forever. Will this work in the Premier League? Have we got a corner? We have got a corner. It's going to be an in-swinging corner. Hernandez to take, and Nice is there, and the header goes just over. But, the beautiful head tennis they're playing together in midfield. They've got a connection. Tapia's never going to make it back in the team despite his 2 goals, because these two did that. And that's one of my favourite moments of the series so far. Right, a 4-0 win to go with our 6-0 win. We're into the next round of the FA Vars. We are still looking to bring in some more players before the transfer window ends. We've got a little bit of money left. We've lost Goncalves for 2 to 3 weeks. Not ideal, but we will look to bring in a few more. We'll probably come back towards the end of the month, maybe early next month. I like the idea of Pocono Snow or the Houston Dutch Lions. We'll play someone fun, a fun name in the next episode, and hopefully with a few more players, because we're actually still spending roughly now what we were spending last season. So I can definitely throw a few more dollars around to bring in some upgraded players. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos, and thank you very much for watching.